Hey there, it's Derek here from Pacific Coast Auto in Japan, and today we're going to be looking at a Toyota Land Cruiser Prado 95 series. This one here comes with a 3-liter turbo diesel 1KZ engine. That's 161,000 kilometers. It's a 1997 and it's going to be exported over to the USA. The Land Cruiser 90 series is just barely legal now for the USA. The US never got any of the Land Cruiser Prados, which is kind of like a junior Land Cruiser, but in many ways more similar to the Land Cruiser than it is not, hence the name Land Cruiser Prado. And this one's in excellent condition. For 161,000 kilometers, about medium mileage here in Japan, this condition is fantastic. Here you can see 161,607 kilometers on the odometer. This is going to be a post-purchase inspection video. We're going to check the condition of it before we export it. This one is not for sale, which is a shame because this is probably, it surprises me how good this one is. So you can see a top mount intercooler there for the engine. This 1KZ engine is the same that is in the Hi-Ace, like that one over there. Known to be a really good and well-mannered diesel engine. Dual battery you can see there. Coolant and oil both look okay. No mechanical issues with it. Timing belt, which was changed in 2010 at 99,000 kilometers. And it looks like it's a well-maintained beyond just being a really good condition vehicle. There are a number of stickers here for when oil change was done. And boy, is it clean and nice. So I'm going to put the camera down because I can't lower this hood with the camera in my hand. Oh, before I do that, the top mount intercooler is fed not by a hood duct in these. It would be very cool if it was. I guess you can modify it if you really wanted to. But it has a really interesting intake system. The air goes into the front grille here, through this pass-through, into the underside of the hood, and then the ducting comes into there. There are two of them. So, kind of an interesting design. I personally would love to see a hood scoop on something like this. I think it would really make it look more robust and attention-getting if the Grille Guard doesn't do that itself. Okay, putting the camera down. Okay, so this one was bought from auction. I got the auction inspection sheet, and I'll go over that in just a second to show you what the auction's condition graded this as. I think that they graded it pretty well. Well, they call this a 3.5C. I would call this a 4B if I were to grade it. So we got a 1997 Land Cruiser Prado TX version. This is a five-seater. You can get them with 7. Most of them seem to have 7, I think. And then they come in diesel or gasoline. The gasolines are 2.7 or 3.2. Both of them are cheaper than the diesel, but the diesels are the ones that most people want. Okay, 161,564 kilometers on here. 3.5 is the auction grade. Interior is C. 4-wheel drive. This one actually has the optional rear locking differential, and so that's a nice little lucky thing. Sunroof, alloy wheels, power steering, power windows, airbag. Okay, it is selectable 2-wheel drive or 4-wheel drive as well, but then when in 4-wheel drive, it is full-time 4-wheel drive. And you don't actually have to come out here and manually lock the lockers. They're on the front. They are limited slip style hubs. Okay, so interior dirty, driver's seat wear and saggy, aftermarket wheels, winter tires, trunk has scratches, underside surface rust, and then the body here has U1, 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 A1, A1. Pretty much all of those are too small to even see. Now they missed a couple of things. They missed a scratch on the underside of the bumper here, and I'll show you that. And then the underside has been painted as well. They're supposed to note when that's the case. Now the underside looks, I'll just give you a quick little peek here of both of those. The underside looks really good. Here's the scratch that they missed. Now it is a fairly big scratch and it goes underneath there. It is on the underside of that bumper. And the rest of it is pretty close to perfect with the softest 25-year-old paint you'll ever touch. Boy, is that good. Okay. So here, I don't know how well you can see that, but you can see that tank guard has been painted. The rear axle has been painted. It's solid rear axle, independent front. And all up in here, everywhere looks perfect. Okay, so what we'll do next is once around where you can see the vehicle from all different angles. And then I'll talk about details. This is really cool. So you're driving over there, and in the States, that's the opposite of how you would normally drive. It's really nice to have this extra mirror. Looking here shows you how close things are to this side of the car. This part of the mirror shows you how close things are to this side of the car. Very useful and cool. Okay, once around here. The Land Cruiser Prado, this is the second generation of it. The first generation of the Land Cruiser Prado was a light-duty Land Cruiser 70 series. Very cool. Actually more expensive than the 90 series now because of its classic looks. But the 90 series, I think, is one of the best value for money that you can get. These things have the Land Cruiser, like, how can I say it, like a dependability, and they wear out slower than other vehicles do. Especially in terms of interior, exterior, they're usually in pretty good condition. Paint tends to peel after 25 years, but that's on all vehicles. Not particularly the case on this one. I think it looks good on those aftermarket wheels. Wheels are subjective, so to each their own. I think it's easy to say that most people would think that front grille guard is pretty good looking. It is a fairly rare option. Grille guards aren't that rare of an option. This one I haven't seen before, and we've exported a ton of these. So it is maybe one of the more expensive ones. It says Land Cruiser Prado on it here. Toyota is embossed here, and then it has Toyota yellow fog lamps that were wired in by Toyota. So it's not going to be some sort of hack job wiring that sometimes fog lights are. So damages. This plastic has some discoloration that plastic tends to do when it gets old. There are some mild scratches on the front bush bar, but in general, everything looks fine there. More discoloration here. And then some scratches on the top here. It is a little bit tricky to open the hood with this in the way, because usually, you can't put your hand in like this. You have to put your hand underneath like that. Otherwise, it's not that difficult. Okay, going down the side here, you'll be able to see it is in excellent condition. Now, part of that is the running board here and the plastic cladding down the side, protect the body from any damages. But usually it's not this clean. Got a couple of little chips here. And another one here. And that's basically the gist of all the damages on this side. Up on the roof, it has these roof racks, and there's paint peeling on the right side one all the way across. Left side one, that's not the case. Has these big visors. These are pretty common in Japan because a lot of people smoke in their vehicles. This one doesn't look like it was owned by a smoker. The inside doesn't smell bad at all, and the AC when you turn it on actually smells like a new AC, not like an old car. It's quite remarkable, that. These tail lights, I believe that they come in a few different versions. These ones here have kind of like a chrome detailing on them. Got a few scratches on the edge of the bumper here for where somebody would stand up to look at the roof. There's a little bit of this white stuff here. It's not actually corrosion. That can wash off, I think. It's like some weird dust that's on there. I'll come back to the trunk to show you. There are lots of scratches inside, so I want to show you that for sure. Gaskets on the over fenders are all good and not cracking, which is something that you'll typically see on these. Okay. Just good. Good. A few rock chips on the edge of the door here, and when you go to the interior here, you'll notice that there's some paint worn off here and here from someone sliding off of that with their foot. Okay, so quick look at the interior here. Simple, but to the point. Like I said, everything wears out slowly. The seats, they rarely rip on these. The carpets, door liners, same thing. It's kind of like sometimes you feel like automakers intentionally make their cars wear out faster than they should. I'm talking about you, Volkswagen and Audi, with your scratchy dashboards, and BMW and Mercedes, actually. Mercedes with their cracking wood, and BMW with that rubber finish that goes on the dashboard that scratches really easily. This is kind of the opposite of that. Everything just, years after usage, 161,000 kilometers on this, it still looks like it's a 5-year-old vehicle, if that. Analog clock there, that's kind of neat. AC does work. Shifting is good. Tested the brakes, the power steering, the e-brake, all of that is good. The lid to this is broken off. It's supposed to cover the cup holders there. Small problem, I would say. This one here, you can get rid of these cup holders if you want. Or you can put them down. Here you have high gear and low gear for off-roading. And then a four-wheel drive button. Where is that button? Oh, no button. Oh, that was misinformation from me then. This is not selectable four-wheel drive. It is full-time four-wheel drive, but it does have selectable rear diff lock. I don't remember the last time I've seen one of these on those. And if you want to buy one with it, good luck. Good luck finding one. Okay, this is called a field gauge. It's actually really cool, so I'm going to demo it for you. All right, have a look. There you go. Yep. All right, you done? Good. So we've got a compass here. Come on, you can do it. Compasses are cool, but I don't think most people know what they're doing with them. I don't. There's the compass. I'm sorry. This one here is, it says right here, clinometer. Don't know what that means, but it has your pitch and your roll, which is really cool because like when you're going sideways or like this, it tells you how much you're articulating. Pretty cool. This here is the coolest. Look at this. So this here is time in terms of hours. So here's now, and it shows 12 hours previous, and then there are different settings here. Right there's temperature. So if you look here, 6 hours ago, it was, I don't know, 1, 2, 3 degrees lower. That's pretty fun. So if you're going to be climbing a mountain, you can see how the temperature will go down and then back up as you get over the mountain. You can also set this to different things. Here's barometric pressure, which again, I don't really understand what it means, but it is cool. This one here's your altitude in increments of 50 meters, and the same thing in increments of 200 meters. Here's your speed, so you can see how fast you've been driving over your trip, or in the last 12 hours. And then a timer. So, pretty cool that it has all these. The correct inclination can be read only when you stop the vehicle on a slope of 30 degrees or less. Cool. It has some Navi with no disc, and 7-Eleven in Japan. Okay. Let's go to the back seats now. All right. So, back seats. Not in love with them, but they're for kids anyway. Adults can fit in them, but they're a little bit tight as far as back seats go. Definitely not Land Cruiser size. Like when this came out, it was a few years before the 100 series came out. So this was sold at the same time as the 80. The 80 series has much bigger back seats, as does the 100 series, which replaced it. In the version with the 7 seats, let me just, how do you do this? There you go. You have to climb over. And I believe there's a way that you can delatch this. Here. So the whole thing can roll forward if you needed that space. So you can see you can have it from here all the way back. If I actually had that down, it would click into place. And then no seats in the back here. There's the scratches in the headliner. And you can see lots of scratches on these. And then places for cup holders in the back, which you won't be able to use unless you wanted to tailgate in this. You can sit in the back and use those cup holders if you really wanted to. But typically those would be for people in the third row, which this one doesn't have because it was an option. I believe that the 7-seater was called the VX or something, where this is the TX. Okay, and yeah, these seats can recline a little bit or a lot. Let me just put it into the most. Don't know why you would ever want to do that, but you can. It's unfortunate that it's not completely flat, but you wouldn't be able to pretend this is a sleeping surface anyway. Let's pull that back up and just adjust that slightly. There we go. Okay, back door opens up sideways. And nice and wide, but not 100% wide. So it does give you a little bit less room compared to a hatch in terms of putting something wide into it. A few scratches on the back of the door. Carpet is nice and clean. And then here's another view of those side panels that have scratches. Mostly the tire humps. Okay. Okay, so suspension feels good when you drive it. Steering is good, nice and tight. Everything just feels like a newer vehicle than it really is. And so I'm really glad to see it. I love these really nice, clean vehicles. And especially right after I shoot a dirty and gross vehicle, which I just did today. So yeah, really nice. I like it. Well, I hope you enjoyed that. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much, and have a nice day.